law is ignored and justice is never upheld, for the wicked surround the righteous. Therefore justice comes out perverted. That's Habakkuk 1:4. There was a couple headlines today that struck me, and one was a story about the protesters at the Capitol, pro-Hamas protesters, not a single arrest. Meanwhile, in Washington, 3 teenagers riding around on scooters over a mural, a street-painted mural of a pride flag. They rode over it and caused skid marks, and they were arrested and charged with a felony and put in jail. It's just how the world will instigate people to take a stance, a side. In this case, even if they were intentionally making skid marks on this, it's the street, it's the road. They want people to trample on it because they've put laws into place to really enforce and flex their muscle for their perverted sense of justice. It's Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who substitute light for dark and dark for light, bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes. The powers in this world are wise in their own eyes, and they want to take the place of God, so they want to enforce in any way they can, even if it's completely underhanded, by enforcing laws, by declaring street murals, which are paintings of the pride flag on public streets where people have to walk across and have to drive across, and say that they are sacred and therefore to be protected from any kind of desecration or graffiti laws or anything, any kind of demarcation. They can arrest you, and it's a felony. These were 3 teenagers on scooters, those ones that you rent, and they were charged with felonies with malicious intent, put in jail. There was a guy who was arrested for he ended up killing somebody, and he was released. And that's not a singular story. People are being released for horrible crimes against humanity every day. And yet we are now arresting teenagers, charging them with a felony, putting them in jail for skid marks from a scooter on a pride flag. If that does not raise a red flag to you as to what type of morality is being imposed under the guise of inclusivism, that's not equality. That's the opposite of what they're preaching, saying they're being persecuted for their beliefs and their lifestyles when they are imposing their will on everyone else. Again, when people talk about Jesus, talk about sin, it's not to impose their will. It's to plant seeds of freedom eternally, because there is an eternal consequence to living sinful lifestyles in rebellion to God. So it's not imposing, saying you have to do this. It's sharing in love with the warning. If you don't turn away from this, there is an eternal consequence. But they are rubbing everyone's nose in that lifestyle and forcing them to either accept it and applaud it, or to be eventually persecuted against. But kids going to jail for skid marks from the scooter on a pride flag on a busy street because they wanted to paint their flag there is just the epitome of what's wrong in this world and why the Antichrist spirit is taking over, and you got to be aware of it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. That's the time we're living in. I pray this finds you well. God bless you. Seek Jesus today if you don't already know him. See you tomorrow.